Hey, Bulls fans, welcome to Bullheaded Bull Talk. I'm Georgie, and I'm here to break down everything Bulls related while sharing my passion about this team. So let's dive right in.
Okay.
Now, before I break down anything about the Bulls today, I just wanted to give a little bit of introduction about myself. Like I said, my name is Georgie, and honestly, I'm really just a hyper-obsessed Bulls fan, and I really thought that this would just be a great outlet for me to be able to share my personal basketball opinions, not to just my friends, but to a bunch of different people. So yeah, honestly, that's all I really got to say about that. And now let's just talk about the Bulls. Whenever I see that the Bulls are going up against a team without their star player, I usually brace myself for a loss. And for majority of other NBA fans, that's not the case. But with the Bulls, for whatever reason, the games we're supposed to win, we lose, and the games we're supposed to lose, we win. Like, take for instance, we played the Celtics the other night in the TD Garden, so we're in Boston, and no one's expecting the Bulls to win this. The next thing we know, the Bulls come out with the dub, and we're just like, what the heck? So then people were thinking that Bulls are now on a 3-game win streak. Oh, look at that! The Bulls must be doing really good. This might mean something. Maybe they actually onto something here. Maybe they're not rebuilding anymore, right? People thought, okay, we'll see. They play Boston again, this time at home. For whatever reason, the Bulls haven't been the greatest at home this year. And what do? They get absolutely blown out by the Celtics. I mean, kind of expect that from the defending champs, but that's just kind of proving my theory, Bulls, they're up and down. You can never really predict this team, but I don't know. Well, the majority of the time, I usually, for this season at least, things haven't really been in our favor, I guess you would say. But, going into tonight, I didn't think Josh Giddey was really going to play, given that he came off of injury, because when he rolled his ankle on a near triple-double against Toronto. But, I saw Giddey's playing. I was like, okay, cool. I wonder if he'll start. And then I saw Io wasn't playing. I was like, okay, he'll surely start. So he started. And I was like, okay, he'll probably be on a minutes restriction. He probably won't do nothing too crazy. I saw him get a couple rebounds in the first quarter, and I was like, okay. Made a layup. Got a nice little pass. I was like, oh, Giddey's doing good. Giddey's doing good. And honestly, if you had told me before the game started that Josh Giddey would have finished with a 20-point triple-double, I would have said you're lying. But that was the case tonight because Josh Giddey dropped a 20-point triple-double, and I was losing my absolute mind. Now, you see, me personally, I'm not a Josh Giddey hater. I actually went screaming around my house when the Giddey trade came through for Caruso. I did, in the moment, say I wanted some picks. You could ask my mom. I was literally telling her all this. I wanted some picks because we gave up Caruso, and I know everyone else would agree with that. But a lot of people don't like Giddey, and honestly, I don't know why. I like that Acme traded for a young point guard, unselfish. Sure, he has some defensive woes, and his three-point shooting needs some work. But hey, I mean, he had a clutch streak tonight, but we'll get into that more later. But personally, I think Giddey's a good addition, and I think he can really help build the future. It's hard to come across good young point guards, and he's only 23. Yeah, he's on an expiring deal, but so was AC. I mean, I think Giddey's going to be a good asset for the Bulls in the future. But Josh Giddey had a really great game tonight. Honestly, probably his best game as a Bull. He did everything pretty much defensive end. He even ended up closing out in the final lineup. Billy Donovan hasn't done that for the past couple games, but maybe that's because Isle wasn't playing tonight. But, he could have played Zoe over him. Who, Lonzo, a lot of people thought that he wasn't going to be able to play anymore. And that's fair. He was out for 2 seasons, but ever since he came back, his shooting stroke has looked as pure as it has since the moment he walked into Chicago. Honestly, Lonzo Ball is an absolute bucket. And I love having him and Giddey out there, whether they be together at separate lineups, because without them, you could see in the last game we played against Atlanta Hawks, the offense was just stagnant at times. They didn't know what to do. We were just chucking up threes like there was no tomorrow. And you could see the collapse with no defense from Lonzo, especially because this team is so defensively limited with only like Patrick Williams, Ayo Dosunmu, and Lonzo. But, Lonzo and Giddey really have an impact on being really good floor generals. And Ayo too. But, Giddey and Lonzo are definitely more unselfish than Ayo. And that's really, really nice to have. Especially Lonzo being a vet. You can kind of see his impact on the defensive end, obviously. I can see how that rubs off on everyone else on defense because ever since Lonzo started playing more, I could see guys actually doing their rotations, and people were trying to get more effort on the defensive end now. This team does need to work on getting more 50-50 balls. To start out the season, they were hitting the floor, going for everything. That kind of went away, and I'm not really too pleased about that. It happened a couple times tonight, but, things were kind of wild tonight. I mean, look at Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard got literally 3 foul calls in a row. I was about going crazy. I was like, how many fouls are we going to give this guy? And some of them, we didn't even foul him. They were just dumb calls. I really didn't understand. But speaking about guards, Kobe White. That man, Kobe White, bro. Kobe, I think he needs to really work on getting buckets in an unselfish situation. But to be honest, for the most part, he's really good at getting downhill. His three-point stroke isn't as good as it was last season, but that might have been just because he was getting more open looks from DeRozan, drawing in so much defense. But Kobe, he's gotten a lot better. He had a really solid game tonight. But, I think really what opened up the paint for the Bulls was starting Vooch early on. He established his presence down low really quick. You could see Vooch started hot early, and then after that, everything opened up. Everyone was able to drive to the lanes. There's an instance where Zach LaVine was like, he's roaming in the paint, and then Vooch is right there, and Vooch starts peering out towards the wing, and then Brook Lopez follows, and that just left a wide open layup for Zach LaVine. That's just what happens when you get Vooch established early. It's a beautiful thing. Ball movement was amazing in the first half. Got a little bit worse in the second half, but honestly, the first half was so nice that it made the second half look bad. Second half was pretty good. Defensive woes as usual. This team, no one expects them to be Celtic-type defenders, but they held their own tonight. Especially, you look at Josh Giddey's defense. He had a complete game. I'm not gonna lie. And another guy I really haven't talked about much is Zach LaVine. I mean, Zach LaVine, yeah, he didn't get that many buckets tonight. 15 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. But those 7 assists, you can see Zach. He's really learned how to just be. I think he really wants to, in the back of his mind, he wants to improve his trade value. He wants to prove everyone wrong. People say Zach LaVine, he doesn't contribute to winning. Well, he did tonight. How did he do it? Oh, did he drop 50 points? No, he actually didn't. It's not like when he dropped 50 in Detroit and we still lost. Actually, he only got 15 points, but he got 7 assists and 6 rebounds. He's doing things. He's playing good defense. He's being a good team leader on the court. He's not being negative. He's not yelling, screaming for fouls anymore, although he does do that a lot. It's still kind of annoying, but it's okay. He's learned how to move the ball around, make the right reads, help the team be able to get better looks rather than him just hunting for buckets, and we live or die by him. Or like how we used to live or die by DeRozan. DeRozan had a bad game, we lose. DeRozan had a good game, we win. But, Debo's gone. He's in Sacramento. He's doing his own thing now. We still got Zach and Vooch. And, the rest of the team contributed really well tonight. Patrick Williams, really clutch layup at the end. I really liked his aggressiveness. Montes Buzelis, I wish he got more possessions to score for himself. He did get one. He got that layup. It was nice. It was cool. Dalen Terry, he's Dalen Terry's solid. He's doing what he can. Julian Phillips didn't get that much playing time tonight, but Billy Donovan went really deep into his bench tonight. Probably because he wanted to see how everyone was doing. I mean, he saw how Javon Carter dropped 26 the other night, and even Torrey Craig came in and was making an impact. So, this Bulls team is really deep. I think they just need to learn how to work together. I know a lot of people don't want the Bulls to win. Personally, I'm not one of them. But every time the Bulls lose, I think it's one step closer to Cooper Flag. Every time the Bulls win, I think it's just for my personal happiness. I mean, I love seeing this team win. I don't like seeing a team lose. But, whether we end up being in the play-in, if we were in the play-in this season, we better make the playoffs. Because if we're in the play-in and then we miss our pick, no Bulls fan wants that. But, we miss the play-in, but we keep our top 10 pick. I'm not going to be too mad. This draft class is really nice. But, it's a complete win by the Bulls tonight. They take down the Bucks. Giannis-less Bucks, but it's okay. We won. It's a dub. Whether you like it or not, it happened. So, yeah, that's where I'm going to wrap it up today for my first ever video for Bullheaded Talk podcast. Thank you all for listening. If you came this far, I really appreciate you. And I hope I see you guys in the next one. Till next time, go Bulls.